it's Laynie and welcome to my channel. How are you guys doing today? Leave it down below. You know I love hearing from you. Today we're gonna sit down and put some makeup on my face. I very much need it right now. My skin is going through it. So I wanted to chat with you about a new foundation I am really loving. So if you want to see me put on a full face, chat about my new fave foundation that is drugstore, which I love, then make sure you click the subscribe button and join the fam. You won't regret it, and let's get going. What kind of fun are you up to this weekend? I'm prepping for a colonoscopy, so yay! What a fun weekend. I have the house to myself right now, which very rarely happens, so I'm excited to sit down and hang out with you guys. Finally put some makeup on my face. I wanted to film this morning so that I could run my errands and look put together, but I didn't get it accomplished. So here we are, 4:00 p.m. What a time to put the face on. But hey, better late than never. To start out, I am gonna do a quick brow. I have lately been doing pretty darn quick brows because I really need to buy some more of my favorite brow products, but I've put myself on a no buy until we go on vacation because I got bills on bills right now, and I know I'm gonna want to shop while on vacation. That's one of my favorite parts, and I was like, nope, just make a little list of the things you're running out of, the things you need, the things you want to try, and save it for then. I real quickly just want to shape the brows up just a smidge. This NYX concealer is so good for getting around the brows. Just makes it so easy. This is the NYX Pro Fix stick, and I really love this brush from AOA Studio, so it's super affordable. This is the E103. It's just got such a nice shape to it. It's an angle, and it just works so well for everything, but I really find myself loving it for concealer especially. It just works so well, and I think it was $3, which makes me love it even more. I know I am not the only one right now on a budget. These bills be billing, man. Everything is just so much pricier than it used to be, just like breathing air. It all adds up now, right? For us, it's always medical that seems like the biggest expense. Not to bore you guys, but for us, we just don't have great health insurance. So anything medical that does pop up, I'm getting the colonoscopy done, it's just very pricey. But anyways, back to what really matters here. The makeup. You guys, I am loving this foundation. This is the Laynie Conceal and Perfect Blur Skin Tint. Okay, you guys. I actually sent this to my cousin, right? Because she's been on the hunt for some new makeup to work with her skin. She is like me. She has texture, pores, fine lines, right? We are not as young as we once were. And I had to send this to her because I was like, I'm loving this. And she's like, oh, but it says skin tint, and that is really scaring me. She's like, I've got some discoloration I need to cover. I find this coverage to be just perfection. It's still very skin-like, but it really covers. Also, if you are like me, okay, I am not going to prime at all. Usually I do like to do a smoothing primer because pores, I got lots of pores. But I want you to really see how this sits on just my bare skin. All I have on is some moisturizer from this morning. I find the coverage on this beautiful, and the way it blurs over my pores really is what just sells me on this. So I'm going to stop yapping and I'm going to apply it. I will say, I don't go light-handed on it. I feel like I don't overdo it. It's not an extreme amount, but I definitely don't apply light. If you put just a few little swipes, this would much more match up with that skin tint idea. I do think you could sheer this out. I do apply it, okay? So I will stick to one side for now. The nose is always tricky. The nose is just getting covered, but mainly one side, so you can see how it looks on my skin. I have found I do really like this with a brush. I have definitely used my sponge, also from AOA, but I think I prefer the brush, and I'll tell you why. The brush, I can kind of tap it out first and get the product where I want it, and then I can do a slight swiping motion over the pores. And I have found that this one, you almost kind of have to swipe over the pore area. Mainly here in my cheeks is where I have the most large pores and also the biggest indents from having really bad acne as a young adult. That swiping motion does something to really, truly blur out my pores. It's like it honestly swipes it over top and really smooths them out. I think the coverage is really, really good. Like my daughter and I were playing and I had that giant scratch here. You can still see the scab a little bit, but it is really covered. My skin looks very perfected in my opinion. I went all the way under the eye and yes, you could still see a little bit of the darkness reset I have under my eye, but like it's so much better. My skin looks very perfected, almost airbrushed. There's also like a really pretty natural kind of glow here, but it's not too much. It's just very, very, very skin-like, which at my age, 35, I really appreciate. Too matte ages me. Too glossy is just too sticky, too tacky, and in the summer heat, I will get more oily than I want. This is like that perfect satin finish. This is in the shade, I should have mentioned it, Light 04. I think it works really well for me right now. I actually have some color from going out on walks and playing outside with my daughter. I honestly think this is like the perfect shade for my face because it matches my neck really well. I love this. I literally love this product. Like I said, okay, I'm laying the coverage on, right? I'm not going light-handed here. I should have said this as well. Where is my brain today? This is the AOA F2 brush and I'm obsessed with it for foundation. It works so well. It does shed on occasion, but honestly all my brushes do that. The angle of it, the flatness, but how soft the bristles are just does a beautiful job with foundation. I really am finding myself reaching for this a lot. Like I said, especially with this Laynie stick. I do really, really love the AOA makeup sponge. Let me show you. It's dirty right now. I definitely use it. This one, so comparable to the Beauty Blender. It's kind of crazy. I like that one more for more liquidy cream foundations versus this stick. For me, I just think the stick with the brush does something magical for the pores. You just kind of swipe it over those pores and they're gonna blur right out. I don't put a ton of product on my forehead. It is not my trouble area, but I do like to even out the skin tone a little bit, so I just used what's left on my brush. And then because I personally just don't like how my eyes just sink in, it's a family trait. I do like to put a little lighter concealer here just to lift it up just a bit. And I do like to let that concealer sit just so it really stays where I want it. So now it has sat down a bit. It's still creamy. This is a fairly creamy concealer, but I do find it stays put really well under my eyes, and I get pretty creasy because I smile with my eyes. And that just blended out beautifully. As you can tell, it's pretty brightening because it is such a light shade of concealer. So again, that's where I go back in with what's left on my brush and just melt the two shades together. Voila! I love how that helps under my eyes because, again, I just don't like how they get so dark underneath. And your girl hasn't been sleeping great, okay? Between the dog, my daughter, anxiety. The nights have been rough over here. I'm gonna show you the bronzing stick, contour stick. I have been using a lot and honestly have been enjoying more than I could have expected. I was really anti-cream products for a while over here, and this is actually Sephora brand. I have been pretty impressed with a lot of the Sephora brand products I've tried. I feel like they're honestly pretty darn good. And this is their contour stick in the shade light to medium. It is very creamy, like very, very creamy. It almost feels like it could be made with like coconut oil or something because it's so buttery. And as soon as you touch your skin, it just like melts. A little goes a long way. So I do not use a ton of this because it can get out of hand pretty quickly because it is such a melty, warm up with your skin type product that if you put too much, it can get out of hand. I've definitely done that where I have just like been kind of carelessly painting it on and then I'm blending it out and it just keeps like blending and blending and it's going further and further across my face. This is the e.l.f. Putty brush and I really like it for contour. It's just like the right size, not too big, not too small. It's also fluffy enough. I don't even know if fluffy is the right word, but like big enough, full enough that it diffuses the product really nicely, so I don't get like a stark, super harsh contour, because that's not what I'm going for. I just want a little shaping to the face. A little bronzer would honestly work really well with this, and I might do that today because, like I said, I've been out in the sun a bit more than usual. I find this very comparable to the Fenty Beauty, which I actually enjoyed as well. For fun, it's been a minute since I've reached for bronzer because I've really just started to pick up the color to my skin over this last week. And this is the Sephora brand again in their Sephora bronzer. It is a matte finish in Sun-Kissed Haze, and this is a really pretty color. This is gonna add that warmth back in. If you've been here a long time, this is gonna be a repeat tip, but in case you're new, I always keep a rag in front of me when I do my makeup, and I pat my brushes on the rag first before I apply the product to my face. I find it just prevents me from getting heavy-handed. It's always easier to apply more versus to take away if you've overdone it. And then I also keep it there because in between uses, when I'm done with the brush, I will swirl it off on the side of the rag and then put it in my case, so I'm not getting like so much buildup on my brushes between washes. I am not a pro by any means, but it does work really well for me. I'm doing real simple eyes today, so I'm gonna pat a little bronzer on the lid just so I don't look so stark and lifeless. The blush that I have been loving, that I definitely will buy more of, I mean, look at it. Okay. No joke when I say I love this. I can't believe I'm actually gonna say I'm gonna use a blush up. Literally, that never happens over here. Blush has been really hard for me to use up. I oftentimes end up just having to declutter it before I actually use it, because a little bit of blush goes such a long way, but I use this like all the time. It's just beautiful. This is the Rare Beauty in Cheer. I believe it's like supposed to be Selena Gomez's custom color that was like made for her. It's got the prettiest glow. Not the most pore flattering for people like us who have large pores, but honestly, sometimes I don't care. I'm gonna break the rules. I'm gonna do what I like, and I like this blush, and I like the finish, so I don't care if it does show my pores a little bit. But thanks to this foundation, it's not crazy, okay? Because this foundation just really does blur out my pores. And this is a me thing. I personally always set with a powder. I just have to, otherwise I don't feel like my makeup is complete. This foundation is not super tacky at all. There's a little bit of lift and transfer. Like, I can feel there's foundation on my face, obviously, but it's not super bad. If you don't like setting, I don't think you would have to with this one. I personally just love a soft powder finish over top of everything. This is More Than a Pretty Powder, universal in the brand Polite Society, which I think is the previous owner of Too Faced, but don't quote me on that. I just do a really light dusting everywhere. I put a little bit more under the eyes than I do the rest of my face. And I do find this one helps smooth the pores even a little bit more. Not the most pore filling powder I've ever used, but definitely does smooth them in even a little bit more. Just helping that blur stick go a little farther. And because I just don't feel like doing a very in-depth eye look, these are my favorite for days like that. The ColourPop Super Shock eyeshadows in the Ultra Glitters are literally the best for the simplest eyes, but it looks like you tried so hard because they just really catch the light. And I find this one is truly like upper scale, effortless beauty. The color of it is just perfect. If your skin tone is similar to mine, I think this would be beautiful on deep skin tone. It's just gonna have a different effect. On me, I feel like because the base tone of the eyeshadow is so nude, it truly just looks like, almost like my eyelids are naturally glittery or something. I don't know, but I think it's very elegant, but still fun because it's glittery. And that is Ritz, and it is one of my favorites. It's also getting low. You know, I'm gonna re-up on that on vacation. And I am going nowhere today. Again, colonoscopy prep. I'm sure you guys wanted to know that. So I'm gonna do the simplest lip look. I'm just picking a random lip liner here. This is Lumiere by ColourPop, because no look really is finished without some lipstick, right? And mascara, I can't forget that step. Such a pretty pinky, kind of purple mauve color, and a nice clear gloss by e.l.f. And I love that this is a minty, I don't know about you guys, but a mint flavored gloss is so my thing. Like, love it so much more than a fruity. Just love it. Thank you, e.l.f. for doing mint. I feel like so many brands do not do mint. So what are we thinking today? Lower lash, not lower lash? Like, I feel like in person it's cute, but I feel like on camera it looks like I'm not fully done up. I guess I'm gonna put some on the lower lash. This is the look. There's a fuzz. I want to bring you in a little closer so you can really see what my pores look like. Hold on. I'm not kidding when I say I am obsessed with this foundation. I just think it looks so good on the skin. I hope it's coming across on video, but in person it's just the most beautiful finish. And it's a drugstore product. Like, I love that. I just love it. I picked it up at Ulta. I think it was about $15, so not super cheap. Drugstore is not what it used to be, but I just really like, if you were like me and you have large pores, you've got some texture going on, and also getting to that more mature skin age, I just think this has everything we want. It makes our skin look how we want. There's like this youthful light that just shines through it. All right, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me and throwing some makeup on my face. Have you tried out the Milani Conceal and Perfect Blur Out Skin Tint? If so, leave your thoughts down below. I seriously would love to hear what you guys think. I'm sure others would as well. And as always, you guys, please try to stay positive, because at the end of the day, that is truly all we can try to do. Mwah! I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.